Mike Dawson,
I'm here.
Tom McDonald,
Name.
Jamie Pluck, Greg Demontier,
Here.
Carol Langford, Danielle Matt,
Here.
Bing Matt, James Steele Jr., Martin Charlo, Len Two-Teeth,
I'm here.
Lanish Trahan.
King, will you give us a prayer this morning? Would you please? Please.
We thank you, Creator, for the blessings that you have given us. We thank you for the moisture that you brought, for the fire season that are coming up to help with that moisture of our forests and whatnot. We thank you, Father, for watching over our children, our grandchildren, and our elders. We thank you, Father, for watching over those that are sick and those that are in need of health issues that they have, Father, Lord, to get well. And Father, Lord, we just thank you for all that you do for everyone, Lord. We thank you for bringing everybody here today, Father, and getting them safe here today. And Father, Lord, we ask that you watch over our people in the law enforcement, our men and women in armed services. And we just thank you for watching over everyone that's in the medical field too, Father. And Father, Lord, we just thank you for blessing that you give us today. We ask that you give us direction here today too also. And we just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
We have minutes from June 16th. Could look at those, please. Motion by Tom to approve the minutes with any additions. Second by Danielle. All in favor? We're unanimous. We have an agenda for today. Any additions? I have one issue. Len? Carol? We do have five walk-ins.
And I've invited some staff people to participate in the discussion.
They'll be here this morning. Okay. Danielle? Motion by Len to approve the agenda with the additions. Second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous. We'll go to our first walk-in. Morning, Richard. I hear you got the summer crew. Come on up. Welcome, everybody.
Esquext, Milani Luis Quest, Chin, Etchelu Ilamechum, Huel Cat New Awashton, Unachlu Kaeskuli, El Ushanel, Lamnam Schwel Chupen, for allowing us to be here this morning. Richard asked me to be here this morning to introduce our summer youth. And Richard, I don't know if you guys know, was just recognized at the River Honoring for all his hard work with the elders and the Salish Kadlisbek Culture Committee. And every year I admire him because he really takes his summer youth and wants them to experience many things, not just hard work, which he really has them do a lot of hard work, but he brings them around to places to have experiences such as this. And so I know a lot of youth want to be a part of his crew. And last year he had 16. This year he could only have 11. But, you know, I think it's amazing that they get to work with him. And so I think he's an inspiration for a lot of our youth who want to work at the culture committee or for the tribe. So.
Thank you, Mel. the kids I got today, we interviewed, kudos to them passing their drug test. That's really important to me. The only thing I really appreciate, want them to do is be on time. 7 o'clock is 7 o'clock. You know, in life, it's going to be like that. You got to be at your job at 7. I got a good group of kids this year. Every year I do, but I got some young ones this year and I got a couple of the old ones. I really rely on the old ones to help out with the younger ones. But like I said, with Mel and everybody, we just don't do, I would like the culture, you know, what I do at work, setting up wakes, dinners, memorials, graves, helping out, whatever we can. Trying to teach them what to do when they go to a funeral, what's happened. Some of the kids have never been to a funeral, so I have to explain it. We set up, I take down, I tell them what the important thing is for it to do at a wake. 3 days, 2 days, depends on the family. Some families are traditional, some ain't. So I'm trying to teach them everything I know. So one of these days, these guys will be in my spot. So I was trying to look for someone, but the language class that Mel is doing is 2 classrooms, and some of her students were summer youth. They went with me for summer youth and they came back for the language. So that's what I'm trying to inspire these guys to do is come back and learn the language through Mel and them. Only thing I want to do today is if you guys could do some wisdom in them and talk to them a little bit, you know, about college, what you guys do, and appreciate it. I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name's Ariana Zapita.
Hi, I'm Jason Brown.
Satori McDonough Parker.
My name's Yesenia Shepherd. My name's Rayleigh McDonald.
I'm Macklin McNaught. Vincent Shepard.
DJ Stops. Sunny Matt.
Isaiah Garrett P.
Hunter Barnaby. Irvin Barnaby. Go ahead, Len.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council, and Richard and Mel. Thank you for bringing the kids up here this morning. I really super appreciate your leadership, Richard, these last couple of years with the summer youth, and I just want to let the kids know that you know you don't know it yet, but there's going to come a time for some of you are going to find yourself sitting up here. Just the way the Creator guides your life. You're going to be asked to lead your people. So it's really important to understand these things that Richard tries to teach to you on the importance of, because you're also going to be our future workforce. And you know, Richard mentioned getting here at 7 o'clock. You don't know how important that is. That's extremely important. That tells a lot about your character. When you discipline yourself to be able to come to work every day, and not only that, if you're coming to work for the tribe, you work for your people, and your people expect no less from you. But I want to thank you guys for participating in the program this year, especially under Richard and Mel and all the language people over there. They're just some fascinating people over there. So you guys, thank you all for coming in today.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Lemnamsh again for being a host for our youth, because so many workstations don't want to do it and take that time and provide that leadership. So once again, you've never failed me. You're there, you're taking as many kids as you can, and you're making it meaningful from all aspects, from work history, work environment, work habits, to cultural awareness, to our tribal government, to everything that we have, the landscape that we take care of. So deeply appreciate that. And Lemnamsh to Petsia, all of you, for signing up and being part of this. The one thing I would say to you, because when I was in high school, I did work in the summer youth program. It was summer rec back then, and it was outside. We were outside camping and doing different things, and I was a counselor, supervising all the little kids. But what I also did was have other jobs. So having a well-rounded, reference point or, experience from working part-time at wherever, doing other things besides just one job is pretty important. So I really think that's a good thing. And I'm glad that there's a basketball court down there so you guys can shoot some hoops, right? Got a bunch of basketball players there, Richard, I can see. And that's important. So, having that, staying, working hard, developing those skills right now, because when Richard says it's important to be at work and Len does too, be timely, be responsible, have that respect for your workplace and the supervisor, is really critical, and listen, be safe. Sammy Safety says safety first, that's really critical. So, but working together and working with coworkers and being a team, which all of you know about teamwork, is really important, because it's to get something done. It's just rarely that it's just yourself. It's others that you rely upon for your safety, to be able to move this thing or do that. It requires more than one. So being part of a family and recognizing each other's needs, watching out for each other, that's really important. But just having that work history, starting now. But I diversified. I had lots of different jobs, working at movie theaters, fast food, mowing lawns, all kinds of different things. So having that money, having that jing in your pocket, that Ululem, is really important. So keep up the good work, and I wish you all the best. I'm not sure.
Go ahead, Carol.
Thank you. Richard, I want to say thank you on behalf of a lot of families who experience you when we go to the Longhouse. It means everything to me when I see you, and I just know that you're like family, and it makes me feel comfortable and good, and I just appreciate you so much. One message I would like to tell the kids is that everything that we have here is yours. So you always hear people at times cut things down, like let's say something goes on at the resort. That is something that you own. And if you see a problem, you need to speak up and say something and correct the problem rather than be negative. And I'm not saying you are negative, but I think that's an important message. Know you own this. This is yours. And we have to take care of it. We haven't got as far as we have by not having our people step up and take these jobs on. And that's why we are so progressive, because it's our own people. And that's what you will grow up and be a part of this organization and take on the responsibility that we have. And so I just want to tell you kids, I appreciate you. I know most of your parents. I heard Shepherd out there. I know Zapita's. So, I know a lot of people. So I just thank you for coming in and stepping up and working with Richard, because it's really critically important as Indian people that we know our culture and our history and where we've come from and where our families have come from. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Ben, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Richard, I also want to thank you for your dedication to these students. Every year you come in and with the students and have them introduce themselves to us, and it's great to see what you do with them. It's because also the dedication you have with the Longhouse there and with our elders that you bring all over the country, and it's good that you do that. And I hope that these students really look up to you, to what you do, and it's great that you do this for them. And, it's just having you around them is great, I think, because you have some good leadership skills there, and hopefully they'll pick up on a lot of that from you. So thank you.
Go ahead, Daniel.
No, thank you, Richard and Mel, for bringing the kids in here or the young adults. You guys are on your way to some pretty amazing careers in your future. It's good to see some of you guys out there at the river yesterday. But I want to say cherish your time with the elders while you're working there with Richard. It's something I want to say. Growing up with my grandparents, we had a lot of elders around, and I want to say I took it for granted, and I always said I wish I would have listened better because all of the knowledge that they hold, we just don't know how lucky we are to be there with their words. So really enjoy the place where you're at. Yeah, Richard's a wealth of knowledge. I know I've learned a lot from him just in the years going up for things. And yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing and keep up the good work. My first job was summer youth. So kind of to piggyback on what Len said, you can make it anywhere in life. So good luck.
Good, great.
Well, Richard and Milani, you helped make another great morning here for me. So thank you for what it is that you do. So now for what's important. You guys don't look real comfortable standing there, being here in the council chambers this morning, and you kind of look like you just about be anywhere else right now. But I just want you to understand, at least from what's inside of me, you belong here. Each one of you belong here. You're probably too young to vote. Probably, not sure where you're going to be going. And you were probably not sure how to make a good time of what's going to happen here this morning. And you walked in here because you were told to, not because you really wanted to, probably, right? But, that's okay because you are what we work for here. And I know you hear that a lot, but it's really true. The stuff that goes on in this room, there's no point in doing any of it if it isn't for what you are going to experience through your lives. So you being here helps remind us of that. You being here is just as important as anybody else being here. Never think that you don't belong here. Never think that the tribal council or people here in the organization don't care about you. We're going to make some mistakes sometimes and we're going to forget about you sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you're not in our hearts. So thank each one of you for being here. And I'm not going to keep you here any longer than you want to be. If I was you, I'd want to be outside in the sunshine. I mean, that's where I want to be. So again, thank you all for being here and relax. Just relax. Thank you.
Jen?
I just wanted to say the same thing, but we also can we give a shout out to Ariana? She just done her first year in college and she's going back again this coming year. So I just wanted everyone to know that for her. She's the basketball player.
Brian?
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. First of all, nice work, Rich. For those of you that don't know, my name's Brian Lipscomb, and Richard and I went to school together our entire lives, back down in St. Mission. It's good to see where you've come, Rich, and all you've invested in our youth. Nice work. An invitation. Bring them down to the dam. Reach out. We'll show you around. Show you some other aspects of what we do from a business perspective and taking care of resources that are quite impactful. And thanks for all of that. You asked for some wisdom. I don't know if I'm qualified to give it, Rich, but I'll share a little. You guys are just starting on your path. Every day I always wake up in the morning and I say to the Creator, show me the footsteps you want me to walk. That's the first thing. And then second, give me the courage to walk them. So just keep that in mind as you're heading out the door on the adventures that Rich has taken you on today. Thanks for what you do.
Well, Richard, thank you for always putting together a good crew. And Milani, you bet. Got two things. I spent a lot of days across the street here at Salish Kootenai College. And so I'll put a bug in your ear about that. It definitely is a good place to get started with your advanced education. And as you said, the young gal already knows that, so that's good. Important thing to your college career, get there, and be there when you're there, always. And then the second thing I want to add to what everybody else said here is, as Mike got passed to you, the voices were kind of meek at times, a little quiet and whatnot. Don't ever do that. Your voice matters. Hang on to that. Your voice matters as much as anybody's. Don't be afraid to say who you are and what you're about, and go forward in this world. And thank you for coming in today.
First time is Monday is when we go with the elders, so trying to explain to them, when we go have dinner, no eating until the elders pray, so just kind of wait. Trying to explain it to them. If they say something, do it. Help them out. Get out to grab a chair, grab something for them. We're here to help the elders, so they're looking forward to the trip. I mean, that's what we do. We like to go on trips with the elders. They will meet them, so trying to explain what the elders mean to them. If I don't get it to them, the elders will. So thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys' time today. Like I said, we still got some more stops, but I want to just make sure these guys come in and see what you guys do. You know, what you do all day, and explain to them what council is like. One of these days they will be up there, and I hope so. What do you guys say? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna shake their hand. Shake their hands. Got to smell. Thank you. There's the mic.
Our next walk-in is our next visitor. Too many shake hands yet.
Thank you, everybody. Good crowd.
Thank you, Richard. Judge Eddie, come on up. Good morning. Welcome. Good to see you again. If you would, and use a microphone. No.
Can you turn on your microphone? It's right there.
There's a button at the. There you go. Perfect.
Red to talk. I'm with you now. Good morning. My name is Amy Eddy. I am a district court judge up in Flathead County since 2015, and I am a nonpartisan candidate for the Montana Supreme Court. Wanted to be able to come down and formally introduce myself to council. I've met several of you before this, see if you have any questions for me. I do understand that, of course, the Montana Supreme Court really has no jurisdiction over tribal lands. There are things that influence tribal members as far as voting and education and things of that nature. But I wanted to be able to introduce myself to you and see if you have any questions for me.
Any questions for Judge Eddy? Go ahead, Carol.
I really appreciate you coming in. We don't see judges too often, so it's really nice to see that who's actually running, and just appreciate the work that you do. And I know it's not easy, so thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I was able to come down a couple of weeks ago and meet your tribal judges and many of the lawyers. And it happened to be the women's wellness event. And so that was great to go to that and see really all the wonderful things you all are doing in this community. So thank you.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in this morning. But you might want to explain a little bit why you recognize so many faces up here. It's kind of got everybody in the back of the room kind of raising their eyebrows and, how does she know that? Yeah. So what I'm curious about is from your perspective, right? So I mean, I know you don't come down here to visit the tribes that much probably. But now that you're here and now that you're talking to the governing body here of the tribes, I'd be curious to know what you would suggest that we do to help the folks on the north end of the valley understand what it is that we do here better. I believe you have a unique perspective just from the smile on your face. So I'd be interested to hear that.
I read the newspaper like everyone else, so I do understand a lack of understanding, at the very least, sometimes about the positive things that this body certainly is doing and the members of your community are doing. Speaking for myself, at least in the judicial system, we have way more in common than we do in our differences. And I think there's lots of opportunities in those legal systems to not necessarily work together, but have a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, which is the same thing, is to make communities safe and have communities that are thriving and children who are educated. And I really appreciated being here this morning. I know nothing about this program with the kids who are here, but it was really wonderful to see them. As far as specific things, I don't have any suggestions for you, but I think that the more open invitations and conversations are always productive and helpful for people.
Tom, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for coming in. It's good to meet you. One of the great things about the state of Montana that they did years and years and years ago was, on our Constitution to make sure we have a clean, healthy environment for our future generations. And one of the core values for our tribes, for all three of our tribes, is that we take care of our water. That it's our responsibility as the headwaters of the Columbia River and the Missouri River system to leave it just as good exiting our Aboriginal lands as it came from the sky. So when we look at these threats as far as water pollution and activities that we do and see these continual bites at that great vision that our Constitution provides for making sure that it's not just our kids are safe, but they're healthy. And that's in perpetuity. And so I always see these challenges that come forward with development or uses that degrade that. And the state Supreme Court makes key decisions related to that. So I'm just kind of interested in your philosophy or what you would anticipate.
Well, of course, when the delegates and then the voters adopted the Montana Constitution in 1972, they wanted it to have some of the strongest environmental protections in the country. And I think by and large, that's been accomplished. It has to be balanced with other things under the Constitution. We all as citizens have a fundamental constitutional right to a clean and healthful environment. But in addition to that, our Constitution has a whole other section on the environment and natural resources that really speaks to our obligation as citizens and the legislature's affirmative obligation to protect the entire environmental life support system, is what the Constitution says. And obviously, I'm committed to protecting and defending the Montana Constitution. I'll also note just on that, of course, in addition to the rights that you have as tribal members that are more broad, we also have, of course, have the constitutional right to fish and hunt. And by and large, of course, that requires healthy water as well.
Other questions? Judge Eddie, I'm interested in knowing what your opinion is about, or your thoughts are about tribal sovereignty.
Well, I got into a conversation about this when I was addressing the Fort Peck Tribal Council, because my position is that you are a sovereign nation in charge of your interior boundaries and your administration. And one of the members of the Fort Peck Tribal Council said, well, you say that, but we don't really have the ability to fully exercise our sovereignty because of the interference in that particular jurisdiction of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So I don't have any jurisdiction by and large within your interior boundaries. I do respect your tribal sovereignty, and I do understand that for whatever reason, there have been limitations sometimes on your exercise of it.
Other questions? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just want to say thank you for taking the time this morning. I appreciate you accommodating me as a walk-in. At some point in time when it's appropriate, I would like to request the council's permission to be able to put campaign signs on tribal lands. And I don't know if it's appropriate to do that now or come back when I'm able to be formally on the agenda and ask for your permission.
I think it can happen today. And it happens just by going down and seeing Mr. McDonald.
Well, I went down to see Louis, and Louis said I had to come back here and talk to you first. And then he would get an email that said it was okay for him to accept my application. So I did spend a few minutes with Louis this morning. So he was wonderful.
You'll get that email.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Eddie. E-D-D-Y. Our next walk-in is EKI, Brian.
In executive.
And you want an exec? We'll go out of regular into executive. Morning, Scott. Come on up. Hey. Here you got the crew with you. Morning, everybody. Come on up.
Yeah, invite MDT to come up. Yeah, today we have Montana Department of Transportation giving their quarterly update. And we have, I'll introduce John Schmidt to introduce his crew.
Good morning. Thanks for having us again. Yeah, this is really kind of our quarterly update for, we try and come see you every quarter, I guess, or more frequently as needed. With me today, we do have some updates on staffing. So wanted to introduce Luke Francis. He's our new project delivery engineer. He's the person that took over for me on the construction side of the house. So he's managing all the construction projects throughout the district. And then I think you're all familiar with Beth Kappas. She's one of our alternative contracting engineers. Behind me, we have Joel Boucher. He's the project development engineer with the district, and I know you've met him several times. And then also with us today, wanted to bring Amber Jensen. She's our district right-of-way manager, and so she's been working closely with your right-of-way folks on the Post Creek and some of the stuff we've got going down here on the 93 corridor. So with that, I guess I would just turn it over to Beth to give an update on Post Creek, where we're at, how we're looking for construction, unless you want to go some other direction.
That works for us.
Okay.
Good morning. Quick update on where we're at with our Post Creek project. We're mostly wrapping up the work associated with the drilled shaft test program that we've had going. The major construction component of that is now complete. We still do have the load test to do, so we actually need to load the substructure elements that we installed to failure to gain some information on that for final design of the bridge. That load test is going to occur probably in the next couple weeks. I think there'll be much more minor impacts to traffic when we complete that final piece of the early work package. So wrapping that up relatively soon here. In general, I think that work has gone really well. And we still feel like we have a viable solution for the structure we plan to build there based on what we know so far. I think we are hoping to have like final roadway plans for review here in the next couple weeks. So there'll be, just a final look at all the details for, roadway drainage, irrigation, those aspects of the project. The final bridge plans are going to lag a couple weeks because we need to figure out what we learned from the final load test. So we should see final bridge plans in August for review. We're currently, making a lot of progress on right-of-way right now. We're at about, I think, 14 of 29 parcels. I think 10 of the remaining parcels are tribal parcels that I believe you guys will be involved in reviewing and looking at those agreements. So, that's a big piece of what we have still to complete. I think we're in sort of final relocation planning for utilities affected by the project. We've been working closely with Blackfoot Communications and also Mission Valley Power. Ideally, those guys have a chance to get relocations done late this summer after we complete right away, but prior to starting construction. We've submitted all of our environmental permit applications at this point in time. I think the one that we think it could take the longest to get back is the 404 with the Army Corps of Engineers. They just issued the public notice for that individual permit last week. So I think at this point in time, we're anticipating that it could take up till mid-October to get that permit back. So that's kind of really driving our construction start date at this time. And it's a little bit later than we were anticipating, right? Like I think we were hoping to start construction in potentially August or September, but I think it's just going to take a little bit longer to get through some of these pre-construction pieces, right? So looking at a later fall start at this point in time. I think that's kind of all I have for status updates today, unless you guys have questions.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for coming in today and giving us an update. I just want to briefly mention something. So I noticed, this is on another issue too. I noticed that there was some pedestrian crossing lights that were installed at Post Creek. Okay, at the Post Creek Bar and Grill. And I appreciate that because it's needed there. It's needed there also. But I'm wondering when we plan on getting these installed in Elmo. Now kids are out of school. Kids are starting to flee to the lake every day, having to cross the highway. And I know I mentioned this. I mentioned it for the past couple of years actually. And I just want to put that back on your radar. I don't expect a response, but I just want to keep mentioning that so we can get that done because that's really important. We have a lot of kids that are crossing there every day, and as I mentioned before, if MDOT could put crossings up for sheep in Thompson Falls, we can surely do it for our kids here at Elmo. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
You bet. And I do have an update on that, Chairman, Councilman. So we are nominating a project to address the ADA and the crossings in Elmo. But our process takes a little time. So honestly, we're probably a couple years out before we're installing something there, but we are working on it and it is part of our plan.
Just a follow-up question. So what do we need to do to expedite that? You said it's a couple years out. I mean, is there anything that Scott's program can do to help with that? I mean, like I said, I've been asking for this for years and years. And I continuously get the same response. And I just want to I need to report this back to the community because they keep asking me about it too, and I don't have an answer for them. I just keep saying MDOT says they're going to do it in a couple years.
Chairman, Councilman, so right now we don't have, it's not in our funding program. We're working, so for us to get it in our funding program, we have to develop a plan and build a plan, have plans, and then an estimate and put it in our program. To expedite that, on our side, I mean, we can try and work faster, but it's still not gonna go probably as fast as you would like, in all honesty. If you wanted, or if Scott wanted to reach out to us and try and work through some kind of an encroachment where you guys installed the signs, we would be willing to do that. But for MDT to be able to go out and install the signs would be tough in the really near term.
Okay. Yeah, I would rather really see an MOU put together and have Scott's program get that on his projects list and get that going ASAP. So I'm not sure if you got in your budget this year, but Scott, if you can just take a look and see what's available so we can get those installed. It's a simple light and a sign. That's all I'm asking for. It's not like I'm asking for stoplights or anything like that. It's just something that shows that kids are going to be crossing that highway.
It's something that we could get into my program. It would take transportation planning committee meeting, update to the short-term plan. And I think we could, it wouldn't take a lot. And then just so you know, I hired I'm in the process of hiring a transportation planner to help me out. It'll be let's see, probably right after the 4th of July that he'll start. So I'll bring him on and I'll get a lot of help doing things like this. Yep. And then just your comment on that Post Creek crossing, is that flashing yellow light there, that is just to signal the oncoming traffic, right? That's not a pedestrian crossing, correct? Is it? Oh. Okay.
And I'm honestly, I'm not totally familiar with it. I would have to go look, and I don't know how it got installed. I don't know, there was because they just updated that road, right? Is that Dublin Gulch? That's the one that just got updated, and that got updated outside of MDT's purview. So I don't know the design plans or how that worked.
Yeah, Greg, and then
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm a little bit older than Len. So I'm going to go back to the 1980s when the issue, as far as I know, was first raised to MDOT. Okay. And that was when, and you should look this up. I'm about ready to turn this over to somebody who's going to do a master's degree in what goes wrong in state tribal relations, because this light, this simple request to protect the youth at Elmo has been going on since the 1980s. So I don't know what the problem is or what the issue is, but the fact that it has been going on that long says something. So I just wanted to remind everybody that this hasn't just been going on a couple of years. This has been going on decades.
Tom, go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the issue. I'm glad Len brought it up because I'm going farther than that. I mean, for me, it's like if we can put a stoplight for pedestrian pathways on South Reserve for a Porter School to stop the traffic and let people walk across the road, no intersection, it's just simply pedestrian. There's no traffic, just a person walking across. And our people get hit in demographics, get hit and killed by more than any other population in Montana, here in Western Montana. So we have a significant issue with the health and safety of our people. So we're going to always advocate for the pedestrian because our people are out walking. And so when I think of the Elmo crosswalk, it needs to be a stoplight for me. When I think of R. Lee and the kids there trying to cross to go to the store, Berta hit, that needs to be a stoplight too. So I'm advocating for a stoplight, a pedestrian stoplight. That's what we need. That's the safest thing because people, you have yellow flashing light. Those guys still blow through it. It's a different thing. It's a different paradigm when you blow through a stoplight that's red. And, you know, that's, for me, it's a whole different thing. And so I see more compliance with that than I do the yellow flashing light. And so it gives people a sense of false security. You know, that's what I see. I see it more dangerous. I don't know how many times I've seen little flashing lights or crosswalks where a pedestrian thinks they're safe, then all of a sudden someone turns or does something else and they almost get killed, or they do get killed. So to me, it's a stoplight, and I would advocate for that. If we could do it on Reserve Street, and I don't know whose road that is, yours, then I expect that we can do the same thing for these other communities. I mean, why is it that the Missoula residents right there are more valuable than our residents of Elmo or Arlene? They're not. We should have equal treatment, and let's do this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it. Just because someone has to stop and they're inconvenienced for a couple of minutes at a stoplight to save some little kid's life or somebody else, so be it. I could care less how fast someone needs to go from Missoula to Kalispell or Glacier Park. What I'm concerned about is our people walking across that road. And everybody should have that. They don't have 2 tons of steel wrapped around their body to protect them. They're exposed, they're there, and there's, you know, it's just, to me, it's ridiculous that we're even having this conversation. Whenever there's a need for a crosswalk, it should just be standard protocol. It should be automatically built into your funding, you know, as we work forward. To me, it's that valuable and concerning. So I think that we've been talking about it for decades and decades and decades, as Greg said, is shameful on all of our parts. Because someone needs to be that continual champion for this. Someone needs to bring it up all the time. And let's make it happen. Let's fix it. Let's be talking about other things. Not something as simple as somebody's safety crossing the road. We can fix this. Thank you. Yeah.
What else?
I'll just say, Chairman, council members, you know, those are fair points. And we recognize that people need to be protected, and we are trying, and we're going to continue to try. Trying doesn't get things done. So I recognize the frustration, and we'll work with Scott. And even if when Scott gets something installed, we're not going to stop looking at what's happening in Elmo, because we do want to continue to investigate and make sure that if there is a better solution, that we also implement the better solution. So, also with me today, Luke, the project delivery engineer. We have a couple other projects that are happening around, and so I just let him tell you about those and kind of some timelines and what's going on with those.
Nice to meet all of you guys. My name is Luke Francis. I'll be overseeing the construction program here at MDT. So we've got 2 additional projects coming up on the reservation besides the Post Creek perma. That's scheduled to start July 27th, and that's going to be some milling and filling. Work out there west of Perma Bridge, the majority of it, 8 miles long, I believe. And then also Ravalli will start right after the 4th of July. And that's gonna disrupt traffic. Both of them will, but Ravalli especially, just because of the heavier volumes of traffic. But it should be short and sweet. I like to say that now, but it's construction on Highway 93 is never easy. Any thoughts, questions? Flaggers?
The asphalt work in perma, you're doing the perma curves, you're doing from west from Perma Bridge, you're doing perma.
It's west from Perma Bridge to about where that place is with the big white fence. It's about 8 miles.
Okay, so just the Burgess's, past the train trestle, the Burgess,
Yeah.
that's a Burgess Ranch where the white
Okay.
plastic fence is.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Is there any plans for 212 or when it rains, it just goes into the ruts where the tires run and yeah, hydroplane all over? And then my other question is gonna be that bridge that goes over the Jocko there. I just don't know how often a bridge needs to be inspected or when the last time it was. It just feels more rumbly and shaky every time, especially when you're sitting there and there's a train going by. I'm like, I'm not stopping on the bridge. So yeah.
Sure, Chairman, Councilman. Right now, there's nothing in the program for 212 as far as pavement preservation or trying to fix the rutting out there. We can look at it. That's again, funding. So we can look at it and see where it's at in our pave pres program. The bridge, we have looked at it. We inspect every bridge every 2 years. Just fun fact. So we inspect every bridge in the state every 2 years. That one isn't showing any signs of anything that should be worried about. It's if there was, we would have you would see some kind of a load posting come from us requesting, or we would post it since it's our system, but you would see some kind of a sign that says reduced load. So right now there's nothing of concern there. You bet. Well, and to be fair, I park on some bridges that look like they're great and they wiggle more than I feel like they should, but you know, they're all designed to be structurally sound, so there shouldn't be any issues with them.
I like that word. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be. What else?
We did, we heard back from our partners at the Department of Transportation, the Federal Department of Transportation, and we did get the go-ahead on the WCPP grant funding. So that was a big concern for us. It was holding up or had the potential to hold up the wildlife overpass. But that is all back on track now. So we're really appreciative of that. And then I guess, as Beth said, you know, we've got, with Post Creek, we're at a kind of a critical juncture where we're waiting on environmental and right away. And, you know, we would just appreciate any help you guys, can provide in trying to make that right away stuff move smoothly. There are 10 parcels. I know your right away folks are on it. But anything we can do to help keep that on track, would really be a benefit to the project there. Knowing that we can't move utilities until we have the right of way, and then we can't start construction until the utilities are moved. So any help we can get there. But other than that, I don't think we have anything unless you have other questions from us. Really just wanted to come say hi again.
Cheryl?
Working on that right away stuff.
Imagine it's Holly. I'll ask her.
Okay.
It is Holly.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I really appreciate you coming in, and the more frequently you come in, frequently, maybe you don't feel it, but I really enjoy your updates, and I want to thank you. And so, and how you manage traffic and construction, what a nightmare. I mean, you have all my sympathy. It's just incredible. It's incredible to think every time I get into, well, there's winter and then there's construction season. So, but you know, Highway 93 has got to be a nightmare, and other things are just a nightmare, and I just can't. What's really great is pre-planning and letting people know, and so like if they can travel somewhere else or alternate pathways are really good. But man, you got all my sympathy, I tell you.
Scott asked how we were going to do traffic in Ravalli, and I'll give you an update on what I've heard recently. So the curbs are going to be the hard part. We're going to have lights and single lane traffic through the curbs. We're going to try and do that early in the morning to get in and out of there as quickly as possible. Once we're past that bridge just outside of the canyon there and the curbs, and the road opens up to either, it's basically 3 lanes, whether there's 2 passing lanes or one of them is a turn lane there. That's where we can have 2-way traffic at most times. So in the curbs is going to be challenging, extra challenging, I should say.
That'll be for a few days or?
Probably about a couple days in the curves, probably total a weekish on the whole project, and then there'll be intermittent work following up striping. You know, it's all subject to weather too, so it's hard to say, but at least a week for major disruptions.
Other questions? Go ahead, Bing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You're talking about the highway down on 212 down there, by curves down there. What about highway up there by just past Rebate Creek? There's a bunch of little dips that go through that road there, and it's got down right on signs there that there's dips there, and it goes down there for about a mile. You know, and you got quite those dips down there through there, and it's cars go pretty fast through there, and boy, they're just a bounce going through them dips, you know, and so I think somebody's gonna lose control on that way they travel through there, you know, and it's just the idea of having those dips in there where everybody's got to hit them. We're going both ways, you know, and I was just wondering if there's anything gonna be done on those dips on highway. And also, follow up what Lenny was saying up at Arlie there, that's crosswalk sign up there. They got the one on the lower, on the north end of Arlie down there, but the one that's in the middle up there, that crosses with a store there, goes to the school. I was wondering about they're gonna ever put one in there, a crosswalk sign. 'Cause that's where kids usually go down through there to go to the store.
Sure, Chairman, Councilman. So the dips are on the ones on Highway 200, is that right? Yeah, those are on our radar. We're trying to figure out what's causing them. So it sounds like something we should just go and add pavement to, but we want to fix them and fix them once, hopefully. So we are in the process of figuring out what's actually causing the dips, and then we do have a plan to fix them. And then the crosswalk signs in our Lee, there is a crosswalk sign at the gas station grocery store, but they don't have the flashing lights. Is that what the question? Yeah, we can look at that. I don't know why some of them got them and some of them didn't, but I don't have any problem trying to figure out why those don't have them. And if we can, we'll see if we can get them added. And if we can't, maybe it's something, again, we can work with Scott and see if there's some other alternative.
As to the dips on Highway 200, about 2/3 of them have had asphalt recently applied, and it's pretty rough even at that.
Yeah, and so that's one of the questions, right? They knowing that if we add asphalt, they still continue to be dips. So is adding more weight? Essentially, they're adding weight but making the dips worse, and every time they add weight, they get worse. So are we compounding the problem, or do we need to do something different, right? And so that's the investigation part.
Well, the fix could have been better, but it is better than the dips and the parts that have been fixed.
Fair enough. Usually they do it with a motor grader or something. It's usually not the perfect piece of equipment, but it usually gets the job done.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, anymore, I kind of enjoy that ride because I enjoy that, the bumps, and I can anticipate it. And, you know, then I'll laugh at someone else coming or some semi and they hit something, or you see a car bottom out, you know, it's like, wow, let me fishtail. But yeah, it's quite an experience through those, the old dump site. I used to call those the curves right there. I think it was hidden before because it was real curvy. And so you didn't really notice whatever you know, I don't know what they missed, some fabric or some underground water there or something. It's unique. It is unique there. It's quite interesting. And you think it wouldn't be that way because it seems like it's kind of high and dry, you know, but something.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and it's honestly caused our geotech folks some they didn't just come out and say, oh yeah, no, this is what's wrong. So otherwise we'd have probably fixed it already, right? So that's where we're at. We want to figure out what's wrong and try and fix it once.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, John and crew.
Sure appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Be safe on those roads. Morning, Mark. Come on up.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of council. This morning I got a couple of contracts. That seems to be my go-to for why I come see you all the time. First one is a contract modification, 23-133. This is a master services agreement with Morrison and Merrily. I am looking to increase the value of that contract from 235,000 to an even 1 million, which is an increase of $765,000. This master services agreement is for design and surveying for the Jocko K Canal from the headworks down to the intake of the new pipeline. We have completed a preliminary engineering study of it, come up with some preliminary ideas, and we are now ready to take that to a final design that we can implement and construct. So I'm looking to increase the value of that MSA for those design services and other construction phase services. So today I was trying to get council approval to go ahead and approve that mod.
Questions about mod to the master services contract?
So
Danielle, then Carol.
is it going from the K Canal, is the design from the K Canal down to like 4 and 5 to that area, or where are they designing?
So K Canal from the new diversion on the river through to the intake, which is the first intake, which is actually labeled phases 3 and 4, is a failed concrete liner, big chunks missing out of it and stuff. So we're going to look at putting that into a pipe and getting rid of the open canal all through that, about a 2-mile stretch, I believe.
Carol?
Is this a sole source contract initially? So I'm wondering, this looks like an overhaul rather than a modification. I mean, we're talking 200 and some thousand all the way up to $1 million. That's the question.
Being a master services agreement, rather than having to come back to add different tasks to their scope of services. I was just going to increase the value of the MSA, so other tasks could be assigned throughout the life of that contract.
Right.
The value that they have for design and everything is about 300 and roughly 50,000, which would actually leave an additional 420-ish for other services that could be added to the contract under a task order.
Was this initially bid out or I know we've worked with Morrison Merrily for years. So
I cannot give you a good answer on that one from 2023. I would venture to say Morrison Merrily has been the design engineer on most of that Jocko system, so that is probably the case.
okay, thank you.
Other questions? Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, actually more of a comment than a question. The procurement instruments that we use, right, are for a variety of purposes. The overwhelming value, not number of agreements, but the overall value is going to be in doer, right? So we are in the process of going through our procurement policies. And what I would encourage you to do is to explore perhaps some specifics that need to be in place that will work for doer. So we don't have the tail wagging the dog, if you know what I mean, right?
Understood.
Other questions about the modification to 23-133? Motion by Carol to approve, second by Greg. All in favor? Greg, Lynn? We're unanimous? Flash.
All right, next on the list, we have a modification to 21-197. I can find that one. 21-197 is another actual Morrison and Merrily contract. This one was, shall we say, instituted before Doer switched over to EJCDC contracts. This is the, lack of a better term, I'll call it the old style big boy contract. This is actually mod 7 to that contract. Sounds like a high number. This, by today's Doer contracting methods, would have been a master services agreement also. But it's not, so we're dealing with lots of mods. The mods in the past have been for scope changes, extensions of time as the project progressed. This is for the Jocko pipelines, open canal to pipelines conversion. So as those designs progress and things change, that's why we're seeing all these mods. This mod 7 is an increase of the not to exceed value of $836,505. moving the not to exceed value to $5,434,681. And that is for design services and construction phase services throughout, actually 1 through 6. So it's a big number, but in the overall project, that 5.4 million represents about 6.5 to 7.5% of the total for that pipeline project in phases 1 through 6. So it's on average, I think engineering for projects nationally, Nate, geez, can't even spit it out. Nationally is about between 8 and 15% is what you can expect for engineering charges on a project. So we're right at the low end of what that is. This mod is mostly for phases 5 and 6 construction services. $686,373 of it's for that. And that'd be for construction staking, for review of submittals, shop drawings. There's construction observation built into that for 38 weeks. And then all the project closeout that takes place, as builts, walkthroughs, things like that. And then there's 150,000 of funds to wrap up the phases 1 through 4 of the pipeline services and get that closed out. So this is a scope change to that contract for 5 and 6. So I'm asking for approval to increase that contract by $836,505.
Go ahead, Daniel.
So phases 4 and 5 are, well, where's phase 4 and 5 at? Is that the one that goes to the river?
So 1 and 2 is actually the west side of that whole project area. Dumontier, White Coyote, Martz, some of that. And then 3 and 4 is the actual more toward the beginning, closer to the river.
Oh.
And then 5 and 6 is Sod Farm Road out to the end of K on the Shaw Egg leases. So in its inception, these are numbered the way they are because when the project was first thought about, they were going to build phase 1 and then go build phase 2 the next year, phase 3, phase 4 on through. And when the previous infrastructure program manager left, I picked up the project and decided we're going to do it all at once rather than stretch it out for a total of 6 years and interrupt everybody's life for that long. So some of the phasing doesn't make sense when you think about how you move down the canal, but when it was first thought about, it apparently made sense to somebody.
I guess my question is so Morris and Merrily, or Merrily and Morris, whichever, Morris and Merrily, they're just doing the design, right? They're not going in and putting in the pipeline. Which piping just went out to bid? Was that 3 and 4?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. I guess, has that been awarded yet to anybody? Or are you trying to get that done today?
Hopefully that's on my packet for today.
Okay, so this part's just approving the design, not approving.
This is the finalization of the design, and so construction surveying, if the contractor was to hire a surveyor, we'd see about a 15% markup on those services. We're keeping those directly with Morris and Merrily, so we don't see any markup on it. It's for RPR services or construction oversight during the actual construction. Morris Merrill has a representative on site to oversee everything that's being done, to work with landowners, things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions about this? Motion by Greg to approve, what'd you say, modification 7 to 21,197? Get a second out of somebody. Second by Tom. All in favor? We are 6-4 and Len is out of the room. Motion carries.
No, this is all you had in your packet was just these. That's all I got from you. And then when I added that last contract for today, that's all I have for you.
I guess that is all I need for today. I will probably see you next week. I'll do an emergency request. I have 2 projects, Jocko phases 5 and 6 and Lower J, that the bids have come in on. And we kind of need to get those awarded so we can get the timeline out.
Go ahead, Danielle.
The tribal contractor who put in for 5 and 6, I don't know, we didn't get the paperwork for it, but he's asking, has anybody been awarded? And I didn't have an answer, and I don't know if it's appropriate for you to follow up with him or not, but he'd love to get some feedback and know if he's in the right direction or not. He'd be hoping to take on some of these jobs soon. If not this one, hopefully be prepared to do the next one. So appreciate it.
Melissa Peel is on as well.
Yes.
What do we need Lisa? What do we need Lisa for?
She was just wanted to be here for when Mark does his contracts, but those, I sent them their backup for it.
So we'll look at those 2 issues next time.
I have been hearing from that contractor also, Danielle. I've been hearing from that contractor as well on a daily basis, but I have not said anything about any award to anybody because we have not approved it. So until there's approval, I'm just gonna keep it in my back pocket.
Thank you, Mark. So Carrie's next. Morning, Carrie. Come on up.
All right. Good morning, Chairman, and good morning, Council. Thanks for having me in this morning. I have 2 grant proposals that we are hoping to submit next week. And so I'll go through the first and second. Both have resolutions to approve for the submittal of these grant requests. So the first is an endangered species grant proposal. Both of these are for the BIA. This one is an endangered species grant that we are asking, let's see on the second page, $113,000 for, that this would conclude at the end of fiscal year 2029. This isn't adding any additional tasks to what our program currently does, but what we're trying to do is just diversify the funding that we do currently have to reduce some pressure on some of our other accounts if we can get this funding to cover the activities that we do for T&E species or threatened and endangered species on the Endangered Species Act list. First being with grizzly bears, just kind of continuing our monitoring there. Our high elevation Canada lynx and North American wolverine surveys, and then continuing to conduct baseline surveys for proposed T&E species such as Suckle's cuckoo bumblebee, monarch butterfly, and then yellow-billed cuckoo as well. Again, none of these are additional tasks. We're just trying to diversify the funding that we currently have by acquiring this grant.
Greg?
Yeah, how are those projects chosen?
Not sure what you mean.
Okay, why lynx as opposed to mountain lion?
Because they are on the threatened and endangered species list. So this grant only covers species under the ESA. And so that's why this grant's covering those surveys and activities.
Okay, bad question. So there are a number of species that would be on that list, but that was chosen as a result of a process. And I'm wondering if you could shed some light on what that process is that results in the selection of what we go after in these grants.
So this grant only covers species on the Endangered and Species Act list that are threatened and endangered. Mountain lion are not on the threatened and endangered species list. So in order to be listed by the Fish and Wildlife Service as a species on the endangered species list, any species that is proposed has to be in perilous declining populations everywhere, habitat fragmentation. There are multiple species status assessments that are conducted across the country to determine the status of the species in each region and area. And then if it is so deemed that they need protection under the Endangered Species Act, then they are listed as a threatened and endangered species under the ESA list. This grant, again, is only to be used for species that are covered under that. That's why we only have the species that are threatened and endangered proposed on this list.
The last question on that is on the amount. Was that something that the BIA basically handed to you, or is this amount a accurate reflection of what our need is? In other words, did they say, this is how much you get, give us a proposal for it? Or did they say, send us a proposal, you figured out what it is that we needed, and it happened to come up to that amount? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, your original question didn't answer or specify funding or the amount total. So that makes sense when you put it in that context. The amount that we're asking covers the activities that it's going to cost our program to conduct up through the fiscal year of 2029 or 2029. So I think 125,000 was their cap. We didn't need that for 3 years. So I just requested what we need to conduct ESA work. So we're not having to send any back.
Carol, go ahead.
Bless you. Motion to approve the resolution.
Motion by Carol to approve pursuing this BIA grant for surveying endangered species. Second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous.
Thank you. And then the second, I'm not sure why the proposal didn't post, but there is a second proposal that Peter Bagoni with the Bison Range put together for invasive weed species control and management on the Bison Range, predominantly focusing on Ventonata, and it included, I think, 2 years worth of aerial spraying and then ground seeding. So that one, the budget isn't attached here. I know I'd submitted his proposal work, but So I don't have the total on that one here unless I put it in the resolution. No.
Motion by Carol to allow the pursuit of the grant for studying invasive species on the bison range. And it again is BIA funding, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
That's second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous.
Thank you guys very much. That is all I had today. Yep.
Good day, Carrie.
Mr. Chairman.
Good.
I have staff here that I've invited here this morning to address the dog issue. So if we can,
The dog issue.
yes,
Going to executive for,
The dog issue?
yes.
We will go out of regular into executive. Mike's the lead on the dog issue. I would.
I'd ask the council to make a motion to review ordinance 85B and make any needed amendments to update things that are outdated. Thank you, council. Thanks, especially everybody in the room. We had a good discussion and, good ideas. And I think it helped everybody narrow down what we could and couldn't do, and appreciate your questions as well, everybody. Thank you.
Can we go back into executive for legal?
We'll go out of regular into executive. Well, there we go. Motion by Tom accepting our ballots with, am I not thinking? And our Ellie for the Mission Valley Power Utility Board. And Roberta Steele for the credit board. Second by Lynn. All in favor? We're unanimous. Cool. Thanks, Mel. So now we need Melinda.
Line, we're out of executive.
Did you say you want to be an executive with her? I didn't.
Yeah, and Melinda's on Zoom and there's Shauna.
Good afternoon, Shauna. Good afternoon.
Hi, guys. So, we're here, we have two project-specific agreements that we want to get approved. The first one is for the, turning lane at Eagle Pass. It's for a safety project that they're going to be installing, that turning lane there. There is a map that kind of shows where it's gonna go. It's just gonna go right there at Eagle Pass Trail. The map on page 83 kind of has like a little arrow pointed to where it's gonna go. So that's what it's for, is for the I guess they're kind of got mixed up. So actually it's the map on page 88 is
Melinda, you can share your screen.
Do you have it on yours, Shauna?
Yeah, your little one up in the corner.
It's not on the screen yet, Melinda.
It's not on the screen.
Hold on, Lenny will go pull up the other one.
Okay. So, but the Eagle Pass one, that's for that training lane that's there, and I believe so they're going to let it out in July. So they'll be letting that one out in July. And yep. So that's that one that's just right there by Nine Pipes.
Question about the PSA for Eagle Pass
Mm-hmm.
turning lane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, motion to approve. Motion by Greg. Second by Danny. All in favor? I think we're unanimous there. Then we have an overpass one, right?
Yep. And so now is the overpass one. So this is the wildlife overpass. And so this one is just going to be an overpass that's going to go actually a little bit after that Eagle Pass Trail project. And that map's there on page 83. That shows approximately where it's going to go. And so, and then it is kind of a little bit of a bigger project. So we're going to have two trainee positions for tribal members on there. So that's for people with like no experience to get into a 500-hour training program so that they can go onto the project like somebody brand new. So and get into so if they have a CDL, they can get into a 500-hour truck driving position, or if they're interested in doing heavy equipment operating, they can do a 500-hour training program for that too. So
Questions? Go ahead, Greg.
Is that included in the first PSA or is that I don't see a PSA in the agenda packet here.
So the wildlife, so the one that I'm looking at, the wildlife overpass one is on page 80. And that's the start right there.
And the turning lane is looking at one trainee, right?
Yep. One trainee on the turning lane. It's a smaller project, so and it'll be a total of 3 altogether.
I'd entertain a motion for the overpass. Yes. Motion by Bing, second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous. Thank you, Melinda.
Yep, thank you. All right. Shauna's just gonna come get your signature on those PSAs, Mike.
No way.
Thank you guys. Have a good afternoon.
Hey, Ruth. Good afternoon. How are you, Patty?
Oops, always push the wrong button. Okay. Oh, is that it, Jen? Nope. No. Trying to find my documents. Is it just on the tab there, Jen? I can't open it. It's not opening. Do that. Just click here. Oh. Here. Oh, where's your share? Oh, sorry.
There
Get
you
it.
are.
There's my Zoom lesson for the day. Ruth, oh, cool. Thank you.
Where's
Thank
your
you.
share button?
Right, oh, to the right. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, Tribal Council. First item, request approval to purchase capital equipment. It's to replace a recently totaled vehicle. So this is one of those ones that is a little bit out of the ordinary in that we ordinarily will not make programs that have this type of need wait for the new year. So we'll ask that it be replaced, and we have received insurance proceeds to partially offset that cost, estimated new cost of $72,000. I believe that is included in the information, vehicle itself. And then after they have to attach and include all of the add-ons for another 10,000. So we'll just estimate the total at 72.
Danielle?
Yes, my hope is that the officer that was in that vehicle is okay. I guess I haven't heard about the vehicle accident at all, but they need a vehicle, so I'd make the motion to approve the request.
Motion by Danny. Second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous. Buy a vehicle.
Thank you. And the next item, I believe it's a Ford F-150, so be watching for that new truck out there. The first item is going to be approval of modification 9 to the fiscal 26 total appropriations. Where's my resolution? Is it just out of order? Do I have my resolution? See it here. Not out of order or anything, is it? Did you get that from me, Jen, in the agenda packet? Unless it's just out of order. Allocation. No, it ends after this. Okay. We'll move on to the second item. Allocation. 27 allocation targets for the BIA and IHS self-governance compacts. We had discussion about these in the budget committee. They've reviewed the allocation targets, and at the close of those meetings, recommended that they be approved. I do want to note on this first one here, which is BIA, there should have been an addition to the earmark for facilities. I keep forgetting this one because of this impending Section 105L lease. We would include a budget for facilities O&M, and that is estimated currently at 1.243 million. So that would be an included line here to the 6.8 million. And then in the total non-earmark, those programs remaining at the same relative amount, and for a total of 20.2. Any questions on BIA?
Questions? Danny, go ahead.
A motion to approve financial year 2027 allocation targets for BIA and IHS self-governance compacts.
This is IHS.
Gonna do them both together.
Can we do them both together?
If you'd like, sure. And
Take a
this
look
was
at them
IHS.
quick then.
Well, we looked at them in committee, so.
I think we have shared them with you several times, just to keep you up to date on what happened.
So we got a second by Tom to that motion for both of them. Any questions? All in favor?
Should be mod 9.
We are unanimous.
Yep, that's it. Oh, good. You had me just scared. I'm like, I know I did it.
Great.
Ruth, I'm just kind of curious.
Good.
Earlier today, we approved a couple BIA grants for invasive species and threatened, I guess, endangered species. I'm curious as to how the Bureau identifies those types of funding opportunities. In other words, totally separate from the compact because it's not sustainable BIA operations, or how do they differentiate between a grant and what is compact funding?
So what I would imagine, and it sounds like you approved their submission to apply for the grants. So they would have probably had a notice of funding. We see those, they're shared on the self-governance website. In likelihood, it would be non-recurring. So it's money that they have been able to make available in the current year or prior 2 years. And it's their way of, you know, we have the same opportunity as a BIA operated program to request that funding. So if we are awarded it, it's going to be a non-recurring. They will award it through the self-governance funding agreement. And then upon us receiving it, it's available to us until we spend it. We ordinarily don't have to comply with grant-like requirements such as financial reports or performance or completion type of reporting. But internally, we do require them to report their quarterly performance
So
as it's awarded.
if it's awarded through the compact.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. The practice on the budget side has been to allocate it specifically for that project. In most cases that I've seen since coming in, they haven't just added it into the regular base funding for that program. Sometimes we do get appropriation-specific programs awarded, and those, by their nature of the compliance is going to be required, we will want to keep them very specifically segregated and not allow them to drift into the other program funding. So those that came down through CARES Act, through Rescue Plan Act, the BIL, those sorts of different appropriations that are not regular Interior Indian Affairs. So we've made sure that we kept those very clearly separated. Even if the program wanted to combine with others, we just suggested it not be done. So just explaining that practice. Okay, there it is, modification 9. This is to reallocate in the first step, tribal member services. When we finally got our FY26 indirect cost proposal approved earlier this year, it removed as allocable the tribal member services position and its activities. So I needed to just simply move it to regular general fund. So we needed to move that. Then we needed to show the increase in the tribal earmarks. These are specific revenue receiving or collecting activities that we treat in a different way from regular tribal general fund appropriated. So we're showing those increases. In Indian Affairs, we did receive some funding for 477 irrigation project. This is one design project on South Crow Headworks and for forestry activities. So to increase that BIA compact budget. And then to bring contracts and grants total to what it's currently at. Total revisions of just under $5 million, and now increasing total allocations from 394 million to 399 million.
Questions about that?
Oh, table, sorry. There's one more page to this, actually shows the table. Was this just it, Jen? Oh, there we go. Thank you. So just going down the column there in general fund, showing that total increase of 535,000. Showing that decrease of the member services part and in the admin line, and then including that in government services as a discretionary appropriation and the additional earmarks. Total Indian Affairs added in of just over 1 million. Total contracts and grants increasing by just under 3.5.
Motion by Tom to approve mod 9. Second? Second by Danielle. All in favor? We're unanimous.
All right, that, everything. Thank you. And just.
Thank you.
Takes us so long. It's
It's-
because the sun,
It might rain.
That's what the river will do to you.
yeah, it just makes you want sunshine all the time. I don't think I burned. I'm really excited about it.
I was extra tired last night.
Wow, I
was
fell
great.
asleep when I got home after a nap. It was exhausting. Great. The motion to pull the convenience store. Figure out that motion, pull a West Business Service. Business. What is it? What is it that we said we had to do? There?
No, wait a minute. Oh. So, can we do a motion right now, Mr. Chairman? Okay,
Ken?
yeah. Motion to transfer the Alamo Travel Plaza project from S&K Business Services to S&K Technologies pending a approval of a application, no, approval of a proposal from S&K Technologies.
Motion by Greg. Second by Danielle. All in favor? Carol? We are unanimous. Hot Springs.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I just wanted to inform council that I will not make it to the protocol, Sanka protocol meeting in Cranbrook on the 8th and the 9th. I didn't know who else was gonna make it, but I'm not gonna be able to make it. I did participate in the subcommittee though.
Thank you, Tom. Afternoon, John.
Good afternoon. Whew. I did. Okay. Okay. We're starting out with a couple of change orders from Dick Anderson on the lagoon construction out at Kicking Horse. We probably anticipated some change orders, being most everything's underground. And we really didn't know what was there. So I think the first one is for $53,885.44. This had to do with fuel costs. When it was bid in late October, fuel was considerably less than it is now. And they did give us a breakdown on page 98. They actually had billed in two separate. They did one half early, and I said I didn't want to pay it right. I didn't want to talk about it. I figured we'd better get it all together instead of try to estimate it. I didn't want to do that. So they did wait. And again, that change order comes into $53,885.44. That is for the additional fuel charges that was run up. The next one, yes.
So if the fuel keeps going down as it is, are they gonna request another change order for us to pay less? I don't know that this is a common, I mean, I don't know if this is common. I think in my previous experience, that's something we wouldn't have even considered because it's something that fluctuates all
Right.
the time, but I just,
Right.
the fuel prices are now going down, so I just want to know
Well,
that.
they're done with the hauling of they were going through anywhere from 350 to 450 gallons of fuel a week. So, and that adds up, I guess. So any other questions on the fuel?
Just one question on the contract. The source of the funds for this is what?
Water compact. And the next one would be, that was fuel. The next one is for pumping. We had to pump out fuel cells 1 or lagoon cells 1 and 2 and partial of cell 3. And those were 1 and 2 were full to the top. Cell 3 had been abandoned, but with the weather, we did have about half full. When we tested the pump that was in there back in October, it worked. So we didn't expect to have them have to rent a pump or buy a pump or any of that. We expected to pump it out, and then come springtime, our pump didn't work. Our lines didn't work. It was old. So it's a good time to be replacing this stuff, I guess. So that one, the pumping of the cells comes to $19,088.82. And the third change order has to do with the liner of the pond. Now the bottom or bottom of the lagoons, the bottom has no ballasting in it, but the sides do. So they were worried about the sloughing off of it, and they come to conclusion of adding more sand to it and more ballast into it so it wouldn't slough off and affect the liner on the top part. The bottom of it, they didn't expect to need any ballasting because to drain it, the drain is higher than the bottom of the pool, so they never figured it would be empty. But with our type of weather, they thought they better reinforce the top of the the sides of the lagoon, and the lagoon's fairly big. Actually, really big. And I think that one comes to $39,784.65. Or change order total of $112,751.91. And that's what I'm looking for approval for.
Go ahead, Danielle.
John, maybe it'll be a side conversation we have later, but about who operates the water system out there? Because I'm thinking of long-term maintenance, right? Once this is done. And to my understanding, most residents out at Kicking Horse aren't paying a water bill, which I wish we could give free water to everyone, but I understand that there will be future maintenance needed on the system, and it's not under housing's purview. It's not under the city. And like, I just had somebody running around trying to figure out how to get it on. I think your team was very kind and assisted, but I think we need to solve this issue in its entirety and figure out which department's gonna take responsibility for that system out there eventually. And these guys can get signed up, and we have we're earning some income to take care of ongoing maintenance on this.
Right. It has been under maintenance since Kicking Horse was shut down. This has been an ongoing thing. I've heard that all water systems revert to housing. I've never seen anything on it. The only thing I've seen is from the early 90s that said, and that had to do with the HUD houses. They were in charge. Jody tried to get it about a year ago and said, well, if you want it, take it, but we're out. And the guy who runs Pablo Water and Sewer, he is certified. He was doing it when it was Kicking Horse back then, doing all the testing and stuff. Same thing housing does. And he's still doing it. And I'm out there day to day, if, for the upkeep and stuff, for the deficiencies. Like we just had a sanitary survey out there, and our deficiency report should be in this week, and then we have to fix minor things. So it's got a new water and sewer system that was done COVID, and now the new lagoons. And the reason that may be the reason housing wanted it. I have no idea. You'd have to talk to Jody about it, but there is maintenance on it. The reason we have maintained it is because most of the water goes to our programs out there. And so we pay a big enough bill to housing for the water in different places. It's like, as long as maintenance can still handle it, I think that it's probably the best thing. We're putting people out there that either, we're homeless or are down on their luck right now. And they're just going to turn around and charge them. And they're going to charge us. And as long as we can handle it, I'd just say, why not keep going?
I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me understand what it was, because I was getting mixed answers. So I appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for that answer, John. Really appreciate that. I make the motion to approve the contract mods for the change orders.
motion by Tom to approve the mods to contract, I believe it's 26-119. Second by Carol. All in favor? We're unanimous.
The next one is task order 327 on page 109. We begin. And task area 1 is the drilling and installation of test wells out at Kicking Horse. It's from the spill when we removed the UST, the underground storage tanks. And it's EPA mandated. And every spill, according to EPA, is serious. I think the tribe takes everyone serious, at least we do in maintenance. And I know NRD's environmental group takes it pretty serious. So we've been working together. And this could be ongoing. The last time there was a spill from years ago from the 70s in Kicking Horse, I think they put test holes in, and I think they tested them about 7 years before the EPA give us a okay to abandon the wells. And so we're probably looking at testing biannually for a couple of years anyway. This isn't near as big a spill as what was there before. And then task area 2 is adding a generator to the Arley Community Center. What brought this to mind was wakes. If we have a wake, we'd like to at least keep the HVAC running and the lights on in the gym. And number 2, which is just as important, is the kiosk, the tribal health kiosk. They have the one in Arley and Elmo are refrigerated, so they need to keep electricity on. And we have a generator in Elmo for that kiosk, so we're just adding one to Arley for the kiosk and the wakes. And this task order is 327 for $146,123. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, John, the soil testing out at Kicking Horse, does that include the gardens that are there, food sovereignty?
That is where the underground storage tanks, the area where they were removed from. And it is the garden area. We plotted out an area where they would test it, and then if they think it's bad, they will bore some more holes. If they see it's bad, they will bore more holes, wider.
But you're doing the testing, not them?
They are doing the testing. WCEC, West Central Environmental Consultants. Any other questions on task order 327? Motion by Tom to approve task order 327. Second by Greg. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
I have a few names.
Matea is on as well, and she'll share her screen.
Afternoon, Matea.
Good afternoon, Council Chair. Can everyone hear me okay?
We hear you.
Okay, perfect. Can you see my screen?
We can see you.
Oh, awesome. All right, so I am back to get feedback on this project conducted by Fiona Grubin, excuse me, with the Office of Rural Health at Montana State University. She conducted the senior and long-term care assessment, and she has findings from her community listening sessions. She did present at the symposium a few weeks ago, and this document is her final report that she was going to submit to the state. and it was reviewed by the TRB in May. But they wanted to ensure that you all reviewed it before they gave the final approval. I did send in an email a few weeks ago, and I know everyone's really busy. Did everyone get a chance to review it?
In all honesty, I haven't reviewed it yet, Matea. How about anybody else? Greg? Any feedback for them? Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I would encourage the council to look at the section on, I believe it was called self-governance. It's where the respondents that are our service providers. We're talking about what it's like to work within the tribal government structure and some of the issues that presented. There's some objective feedback for us that I think is important to take note of.
Any other feedback? I don't see a whole lot of other folks chiming in right at the moment, Matea.
Okay. Would you like me to come back in a few weeks after everyone has had a chance to review it?
If that's possible, I think that'd be good, please.
Okay. I can do that.
Great. Let me have a picture.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, council, and that's all I have today.
Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
That's it on the, right? The only last thing I have is a note that Martin wanted read into the minutes. That from Martin, he says, I have a doctor's appointment today. Could this be read into the minutes? Recovering from injuries sustained in a car accident, I am grateful for the support and well wishes I have received. Also understand the concerns many people have. Deeply regret this situation. I will address the matter through the legal process. Right now, my focus is on recovering my family and continuing to serve the people to the best of my ability. Lem Lem. Anything else? Bit of the day? Greg?
Yeah. Given I don't know if anybody else's phone has been blowing up here in the last couple of days or not, but mine has. That the Missoulian evidently published an article on that, citing a third DUI. And so I wasn't able to read it because I don't have a subscription to the Missoulian online, but my understanding was that's what it said. Given all that, it just seems to me that silence on the part of the council right now is, I know that's been the way forward, pending the completion of investigation and having all the facts in front of us. But are we there? Are we not there now, where we have all the facts in front of us? And I'm just encouraging that the council not be silent on this issue, given the concerns that are there, because it gives the appearance that we don't care.
I don't know if we've got all the facts yet. Definitely, I do believe that Martin had an appearance in court already. And I don't know what the outcome of that is yet. I'd like to know what transpired in that hearing. And then take what we do know. So I want to answer Greg's question first. I think, yeah, as far as the record goes right yet, we're not quite ready. With that, we'll go out of regular into executive. You got a statement? Right now? No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to protocol. Nobody's going to protocol.
I've been over the weekend if I can find a sitter and I'll go up. I've been to the last couple of protocol meetings in Bonners Ferry, so I'll try and maintain some consistency and go if I can.
Jamie went to the last one as well, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if James is interested or not. Lynn. 8th and 9th.
When on my birthday, TT?
Day driver.
Chehoy.